Uh, are you guys able to hear Kader?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, then it's from my side.
No, not now.
Can you guys hear me now? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's the thought process. Okay, I see Joy's joined, so a lot of people have joined. So maybe we can do this. I think at least we have one team, full team, right? Okay, so let's start. Because we have put together time and we are here. Let's start it. Mickey, can you record the session?
It's already recording. You're good.
Oh, okay. All right. So you would while you are posting it, please delete all the stuff that we are talking now. Okay.
Oi.
All right. So let's start, guys. Let's start, guys. I think this is going to be interesting session from my view. Let me know if you are losing me. Okay. Both from the point of view of thought process and also from the point of view of connection. Let me know if you are losing me, right? I will try to get you back into the flow. So what we are going to do today is there are few questions we are going to ask ourselves, yes or no, right? Between both the teams to kind of see, have you actually thought about it, right? So that's the thought process. So I need a representative from one team, from Intel Recruit and also from the core script, right? Yeah. Can I have one representative?
Yeah, I'm from Core Script.
Okay, this is?
Yeah, it's Vikas.
Vikas, okay. And for the Intel Recruit, who's going to be the representative? Hello? Are you guys there?
Joy is our lead, so she can represent us.
No.
She's not talking.
No, I'm here, Kada, and I will.
Okay. See, remember, this is a test for you guys, right? See, if you're working in some company, if there is some project, there's a project manager, and there is all set things are set, and you're given a task and you do it, whatever. But now you are starting to work with people that you don't know before, and you're forming a team and you're executing. This is a challenge for you guys, right? How well are you able to connect with each other, irrespective of personality? See, when you're working together, what happens is you will have different types of personalities. Someone wants to do all by himself, right? Someone doesn't listen what others say, and someone will actually say, this is what I wanted to do and let's all do. I mean, you will see different types of personalities when you're coming together and working in the team, especially in building something, right? It's not very organized. So you have to, it is a test for you guys to really understand each other, cooperate, and come together and make this happen, right? So this is the first thing. And then the second thing I wanted to make sure is uh, dealing with the personalities is the first thing, right? And the second thing is, end of the day, you would really, I expect that you would really become so adaptive that not only this team, right? Anybody in future, with any teams, you are able to work together, gel together. Remember, if you have a slight doubt in your mind that, something like this, right? If you have a slight doubt in your mind that, okay, you know what? Let's say I'm in a team, okay, and I have a doubt. I'm thinking in my mind, oh, this person is actually, doesn't listen to me, right? Oh, this person is actually, pushes me to do something which I don't think it is correct. These kind of thoughts, if it is coming in your mind, that means, remember, you are on the downfall direction, okay? But instead of that, what should come in your mind is like this. Oh, this person wanted to kind of do this, but let me work with him to understand from his point of view, and then see how we can collaborate and do something together. If your mind thinks like that, then you are on the right direction, upfall, right? So hope you understand what I mean. So first thing is the individual. You have to correct yourself as an individual, then only everything comes into the picture. Okay, so as an individual, if you, for any reason in your mind, if any small negative thought comes, right, that means you are on the downfall. remember this point from me, okay? This will happen within your team, and I'm 100% confident, right? But you have to mature your mindset in a way that your thought, even though it is negative, your mind is thinking positive, not negative. Okay, fine. In your team, the other person is basically bad. It's fine. But your mind should not think him as a bad. Your mind should think, okay, when he's saying something, maybe there is something in it. So let me understand, earn his confidence. And then with that confidence, let him coach to make sure that he understands what he does not understand. Right? So that's the way that I wanted you guys to start thinking. So that's the personal side of it, right? I wanted to share today. And then the second thing is from the business side of it. There are 3 topics I wanted to talk, right? The first topic is the customer validation. So now these are all some of the questions that I wanted you guys to ask yourself, right? And I wanted both of the team to say answer yes or no. Okay, and then I'll explain what it is, right? So that's what it's going to be. So the first question is, let's start with the Intel Recruit. Joy, did you guys go and talk to any of the people outside of your group about your project?
No, Kadir.
So you don't do any project. That's something that you need to really do. Okay. Now the same question for course script, right? Yeah, course script. Vishal.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah. So this is the first thing that you need to do before even you put requirement documents, before even you need to really go and understand. So this is a different thought process. It's not what you wanted to build. It is what market expects you to give. These are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay, you had an idea, but within that idea, understand what market needs from you, which is going to add value for them when you provide, not what you want to do. Remember this, okay? So first thing you need to do is you guys have to talk. You have friends, you have colleagues, so many people you have. Talk to 10 people and say, hey, I wanted to create, for example, Joy, you should say, hey, I wanted to create a platform where I wanted to make, I wanted to help the individual who are trying to get a job to display themselves better than none other platform that is available out there. And then you can also tell them, I wanted to create a platform that's going to be collaborative between the job seeker and job provider, like none of the platform that provides. And now this is what I have an idea. Now tell me, friend, what do you really like to see? If I want to build something like that, what do you think would really will help you to get a job? Same thing you ask the recruiter, what do you think will really help you to get the right candidate for you? So you need to interview the people on both the sides. So this is the first point, okay? So if the answer is no for both of you guys, then you have not done your, whatever that you're doing right now, putting the requirements together, thinking about front end, back end, nothing is going to be useful, okay? So this is the most important thing that you need to answer yourself. Let's go to the next point. Who will be the users? Who will be your customers? Are they different? Joy, can you answer this question?
So yes, they are different. So my users are recruiters, companies. Well, they are the same then, and the candidates. But how they use the application is different. Each person has a individual component that they will be using. So in that sense, they are different. So the candidate, the agent, or the companies that are looking to hire a candidate, they'll all be using the same tool, but they'll be using a different component of it.
Yeah. See, you're talking like a technical person, right? But the question is more on the business. Remember, this is a business session, right? So you have a product, and who are the users of the product and who will be your customers? Meaning, who will use the product, won't pay money, and who will use the product, pay money. Pay money, your customers. Not paying money, your users.
Okay, so my users are the candidates, and my customers are the companies that is out there to hire, looking to hire people, and the agents whom we will be charging some.
Okay.
Yeah, a percentage.
Okay, so you have the answers for that. It's very important to understand, right? When you are coming up with the product, who will be your users, right? Who will be your customers? Sometimes what happens is you can also charge the people who are getting job, right? In that case, what happens is you have no users. Everyone who's going to use your tool or customers. So this is very important to kind of understand. Why? Because if you don't understand this, you cannot really go and ask next thing, right? How many users have you interviewed? Okay, so now let's go to the same thing. Let's ask Vikas. Vikas, what about you in your team?
Yeah, it will be the same because our users and customer both are the person who are willing to learn or who are willing to see like what are the different courses available in the market and what is the best in it. So it will be the same user and the customer.
Okay, but the people who are coming and looking at the review of the courses and selecting the right courses are the people, right? The individuals. And then
Yes.
you are also going to talk to the companies who are providing the courses to come and publish whatever, right? So now, yeah.
Yeah. So customer, it's like online platforms, the one who are providing online courses like YouTube channels or Coursera or any cloud guru, such like platform, that will be customer, and users are it's like us, like who are willing to learn.
Yeah, but whom are you going to charge? Are you going to charge the people who wants to learn, or are you going to charge the people who are posting the? But I thought CodeScript is all about reviews, right? Reviews of the
It's
course.
all about reviews, but we can generate the revenue from the ads,
From
like
the?
from advertisement. Like if some course is available on Coursera, then we can provide the link of it, and we can generate revenue from there.
Yeah.
That.
Okay. Okay. So what I wanted you to do is ask your team these questions, right? To understand. Like
Yes.
first of all, understand who are all are going to use your platform. Okay.
Yeah.
Then differentiate between that. Is the user going to pay money, or is the user not going to pay money? The user who's not going to pay money, or the user who's going to pay money, or the customers. Okay.
Sure.
Then you have to interview the customers and users both. That's your third point, right? I assume that the third point is also answer no, because you both have not interviewed the customers, right? So I'm assuming that, right? So you have to go and talk to the users. If users and customers, they both are customers or they both are users, you're not all going to charge them or anything, you're going to just provide it for free. It depends, right, on your business, whatever that you're trying to do. But it's very important to classify between these two categories and go to these two people and talk to these people. What is going to interest you as a user to use my platform? Even it is very difficult to get the user to use your platform, right? You need to create something that gives value for the user to use your platform, even though he's going to use it for free. Nobody comes and does it because it's free. Like for example, in Testoper, we are providing everything for free. I mean, no other institutes have such an experienced trainers as us. But you see, a lot of people actually go to pay a lot of money and do the other courses rather than coming and joining here, right? So the free is also not going to come easy, right? It's going to take effort, time, energy from all of us to grow. So you have to think from that point of view. So the users who are going to use the tool for free, why would they come? Go and interview them. What will attract you to come and use my platform or the product? Same thing, when you are going to the customer, it's going to be a different question, right? You're going to ask him, how much will you pay if I provide this tool to you? Will you pay? If he says, sorry, I won't pay, then you're developing this idea as of no use, right? So you have to ask the right questions to the customers and right questions to the users. So that's the third point, okay? And make sure when you are selecting the right people for the user and the customer, that's your fourth question, right? Because you have not done it, I'm not asking this question and I'm kind of explaining. Make sure you're selecting the right candidate for interviewing. It is okay, they will help you. Go and find recruiters, call them and say, hey, I'm trying to build something for you. and can you I have some questions to interview, can you help me? And if you help me when I build the product, I'll give you the free license or whatever, right? You would be one of my beta customers, I'll give you the free license, blah 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 blah. So you have to select the right people to go on interview. And then make sure, when you're doing all these things, whether it is a user or a customer, make note of everything that you learn. Then identify what are the core needs of the user. Then comes your requirement document, right? Until and unless you have not done that, whatever the requirement document you are creating, it is all about what you want to do, but not what customers and users want from you. These are two different things. If you wanted to be smart, right? This is like a anyways a training hackathon. I'm helping you guys to become entrepreneurs, hoping after you become entrepreneurs you will give me some shares in your company. But the point is, this is a different thought process, guys, altogether. And this, you have to somehow bring it into the bloodstream of your vein. You don't go and waste time on building something that is not going to give you in any ways a good result. It doesn't make any sense. It's better to not do it today rather than doing it and then but yes, of course, if it is just from the learning point of view, you wanted to give this to the community people for free and you wanted to do this, then it's okay, right? But when you are really wanted to make some business out of this, I want to make money out of this, then you have to really go through this. And even if you want to give it to the community people, you wanted to go through this, because after finishing this, when you're giving it to the community people, if they don't see this valuable, then whatever you have done, it just becomes like a learning process, right? It's not becomes as a value added thing that you're getting. Is it clear? Customer validation, Joy and team, as well as Vikash and team, any questions?
It's clear, Khadir.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Is anyone else joined, or we are with the same team? Anyone else joined?
No,
if I
no.
this,
No, it's same.
No, same.
So let's go to the next one, right? Execution and design. This is where the real test for you comes into the thing, right? I already kind of covered a people test and your attitude test. I covered kind of both of the things, before the customer validation. So the people test is how positive are you to really gel with the team, no matter how the other person is, and get your job done. You might find, trust me, in your life, you will find thousands and thousands of different types of people from the professional life point of view, right? Some will be nice relationship builder, but he won't deliver anything. Some will be talking too much, but actually not, on the job, he won't do anything. Or he does. Someone says that I am very much experienced and I want to get everyone organized and get the job done, but actually he does not even know how to review to get it, whether the people are actually doing it right or wrong. And some people will be really good at coding, but they are not able to think as a big picture. They just do one small module and then they'll do another module, and when they're starting to integrate, then they'll find out that everything goes mess and everything is so loosely coupled or tightly coupled that it does not align to the expectation of the outcome. So you would see different type of people, right? But the point here is you have to see them in a positive way, understand, gel with them together, and then compromise, agree on what is best for all of you, and then move forward. You have to develop this culture, and this is the platform that will allow you to develop this culture. Because see, when you are working, when you are in the day job, right, what happens is you will think the other guy, hey, this guy is bad, but what to do? I just have to work and finish. But you don't develop the skill of that positive attitude in your day job. You will always go for outside. When you go for a coffee or a tea, you'll talk about that person, this person. Trust me, how many, keep your hands in your heart and tell me how many of you have done that. I can assure you, every one of us would have done that. Right? But when you are trying to build something together, like remember the third category that I told you, for which we are doing hackathon, Your mindset has to totally change. You have to think positive. You have to see positive in the negative. And you need to create backup plans, move on and on and on and on. So let's say you have a team today. What happens? You have 5 people. What happens in this 5 people, 2 people or 3 people bail out? What happens? Joy and one more, only 2 of you will continue doing this project? No, that's wrong. That's not a positive attitude. That's not a good planning. You need to start looking at additional people who can join your team to help you out. So in case someone bails out, there is another person to help you out. These are all the thinking that you should do. You should not work on the fixed framework. You should always think about the backup plan to move forward. So these 2 things I wanted you to really remember, right? The personal side of it, create a great backup, and there should be always be a continuity plan. This is the very, very important secret sauce of a leader. Now, when it comes to execution and design, whatever I said is very, very closely related. So when you were actually doing this customer feedback, right? Customer validation, when we are doing, and then when you come into the next phase, you have to ask yourself, let me ask this question to Vikas. Vikas, what feedback have you gotten to inspire your MVP? MVP meaning minimum viable product. Okay. I remember I told you multiple times to you guys, it's not important to do 10 things. It's important to do one thing and do the best. Make it best.
Yeah.
So that is called as MVP. Because?
Yeah.
Well, I know you don't have any feedback, but you can share your thought process.
Yeah, but like I did not understood like what it is about.
So minimum viable product meaning in the first phase in your team, you are going to build a product that your customers and users are going to consume, correct? And in that product, you might develop 50 features or you might develop 1 feature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you develop 50 features, you will develop it forever for next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to develop a 1 feature or 2 features that make sense to go to market. And then slowly, as you evolve, develop 50 features. So now that first 1 or 2 features is called as a minimum viable product, right? What is the minimum viable product that I need to build so I can go to market and start attracting users and customers?
Okay.
Okay, that's what, yeah.
So it will be like authentic reviews about courses. So like we need a real user, not like any like dummy reviews. So we need real reviews to identify which courses are best in the market, and so that people will have trust in our website that this is a good platform to compare the plans and we can choose any course from this website.
Understood. So the point here is, like you said, right? Select 1 or 2 that you believe if you have in your product, you can go to the market and attract the users and customers to start using your product. Okay, because
yeah.
So that's what you need to focus on.
Sure.
Remember my statement, what I'm saying, right? It's not important to do 10 things. It's important to do 1 thing and to do it to its best.
Yeah.
That would make sense for your user and customers to start using your product. If you believe that 1 thing is not enough for the customer and user to use your product, you need to have minimum 3 things. Then do that. But whatever it is, that should be minimum, right? Not maximum. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the other questions is more related to the final interview, when the judge is going to kind of evaluate you. These are all the things that they are going to actually see, right? In this case, judge could be, whoever is judging towards the end of your hackathon session, or judge could be your customers and the users. So if you go to your customer with the PowerPoint, it is good to get the feedback, right? Like that was the customer validation section. But if you wanted to really win the hackathon, then you have to have a working prototype. If the hardware is involved in your product, like an IoT, it should be there. Software, whatever, right? In your both cases, it's only software. So make sure that you have a minimum prototype. This is applicable only if the hackathon is like 2 days, 3 days, right? Because you cannot build the complete whole set of product. Like you have time now. I have given you time now till the end of November, right? December first week we are going to evaluate. So basically, in your case, it's not applicable. But remember, when you're actually joining a hackathon, which is like 2 days hackathon, then you must have a prototype. And if you have a prototype that's working, that can show what you are intent to do, will help you to really get more score to win that hackathon. The next one is how effective. Very important, right? Whatever the minimum viable product that you built, that should align to your mission and vision statement, right? I'll come back to mission and vision in the future sessions, right? But whatever that minimum viable product that you have built, it should align to what you wanted to really position your product as. Like, for example, you have created something called as an Intel Recruit, a company name. And the idea of that was the vision of that is to create a platform that will allow the user to present themselves differently than any other platform that is available out there, right? To get the job, as an example, right? Now, that's your vision. That's what you wanted to do. But when you are actually building, if you're just going to build something which has just uploading the resume, putting the experience, then that's something that everyone does, correct? So it does not align to your Intel Recruit, that word. So that's what it means, right? So you should always make sure that the product that you develop always aligns to what you wanted to do. This will be something really, really looked at. Like, for example, Naukri.com, right? It aligns to what it does, right? So like that, Intel Recruit means it should align. It cannot be a Naukri.com. It should really align to that Intel Recruit, whatever that you're building, the minimum viable product. Sometimes people name it and then they have a vision. When they are having a minimum viable product, it does completely something else than what they wanted to initially build, right? So you have to be very careful. In that case, you have to change the name or whatever, but it's very important to understand. So you have to also make sure you have a working demo. If you have a working demo, you will get some good marks, right? For the winning. So when you are executing and designing all these different points, you have to make sure have you completed like a checkbox, right? And also you want to make sure that how easy it is for the user to use it, right? Is it like very difficult? See, there are some platforms which does like, once you upload the resume, everything it automatically takes care of, right? You don't want anyone to type in experience or whatever through AI, natural language processing or whatever, right? So how easy for the user to use your product? If, like for example, if you wanted to go and apply for a job, keep your hands in your heart and tell me how many of you have so much upset about so many questions that they ask, so many fields they ask us to write. Why can't they just take the resume and do stuff? Why do they wanted us to type in so many things manually, right? So these are all some of the examples. You need to see how well your product can be used with just minimum one click. There are products nowadays which actually provides 0 click, right? Interestingly, many people have this concept like, I want to build a product which is a 0 click. Someone installs my product, that's it. After that, my product works by itself. Like for example, this Rogers Canada, the COVID-19 app that came to you all. It is a 0 click app. You just download and install, that's it, right? Everything is done by itself, and it gives you warning only if you are exposed to that. If that app believes based on its logic that you might have exposed to COVID-19. So it's a 0 click app. See how easy it is. I install, I don't have to do anything. So you have to start thinking how user friendly it is, how good the user experience you're giving. So you have to ask yourself, any input that you're going to ask the user, you have to ask 20 times, do I have to take this input from the user or not? Is there any other better way for me to take that input? And make sure when you're starting to define your MVP features, it can so happen that you might go and interview users and customers, but actually when you're implementing, you won't implement anything that you learn from user and customer. So it's very important when you are actually presenting it to the judges, right? You should say, hey, you know what? I went and asked users and customers. They gave us 20 points. And then in that, we asked them to rank, and they ranked these three points. And based on these 3 points, we came up with this minimum viable product, and we incorporated that, and we have implemented that. And this is the demo. Click, click, click. And it is highly user friendly. And people will love to use it as a user and love to buy it. And we have validated that with the customer that they will buy it for so much of dollars. You know, if your flow is like that, when you're presenting it to the investor or a judge, you will be, you will be looked at, and there is an opportunity for you to win that, right? Get an investment or win this hackathon or whatever, right? So it's very important that you kind of understand this flow. So far, so good. Any questions, team?
No questions from me.
Am I boring here, or are you guys, okay?
No, everything
Hey,
good.
Kader. Saad here.
Hey, Shad.
Yeah, so regarding the MVP, so the approach that we're taking here is that the graphics side and all of the, making the project look pretty, that's being left off for later. We're just getting the functionality built in first and the modeling aspects of it. So I think that's the right approach here. I was wondering what you think about that.
Well, it depends, right? What you wanted to do with it, right, Shad? Like, for example, when I started the session, I asked you questions. I'm not sure you were there in this customer validation. But the point is, like, if you're participating in an hackathon couple of days, right? So you would focus on the front end to impress the judge, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're going to an investor, I would focus on the front end to, impress the investor to get the investment. But in our case, you have time till November end, to develop. So you can take your sweet time to do it, in phases. But don't. This was another example that I was telling before as well, right? Don't build small pieces, and when you wanted to try to put together towards the end, it becomes complex, right? So draw the big picture first.
Yeah.
Draw the big picture. Make sure that you have right modules defined, right APIs defined, or microservices defined, how it is going to interact, and make sure what tool are you going to use for developing all these different things, and then get into the execution side of it, right? The implementation side of it.
Yeah, we've actually made significant decisions on that, on which architecture to use, which web framework we're using, and all of that. We're just and we're building the microservices now. Like, individual people are working on different things. So
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the direction.
Awesome. But your team answered me that that you have never went and spoke to a customer and user.
We studied our competitors, and we looked at what we thought were the things that they're not doing very well. And what we're trying to do is build a product that takes the best that they have and then makes up for their, whatever features they're lacking and so forth. But yeah, we haven't talked to customers.
Yeah, that's a good approach. What you did is a good approach. So you put that on the table and then go and talk to the users and customers. Find out if the user will like to onboard in your platform, right? What will make him interest him to come and onboard in your platform, use your platform? Because user is not going to pay money, but even though he's not going to pay money, but still, something should be attractive for him to come to your platform. So what is it? Right? Same thing. A customer means, would he like to pay for what you're building? If not, then what he expects to have so he can pay. Right. So this is what something that I was explaining before, and you can actually have a chat with Vikas about understanding this in case you have joined a little late. Go and validate this. Don't go ahead too far and implement it without asking customers and users, potential customers and users, and then make sure, I know that you have time. Even though you have time, I don't want you guys to do 10 things, but pick MVP, right? Whichever it is, 1 feature, 2 feature, 3 feature, which you believe is an MVP based out of the interview, and then you start working on that and do that the best that you can, right? You can always add additional features after, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, any other questions, guys, so far? No? So we kind of covered about customer validation. We talked about execution and design from two perspectives. One, from the people perspective, what are the different types of people that you would face and how do you need to start thinking positively to move forward. It's going to be a test for you. And the second thing that we kind of talked about is when you are actually presenting the your product to the investor or to the judges, what are all the different things that you need to ask yourself when you are planning to build this, right? And design this and build this product. So these are the two topics that we kind of covered in this so far. And the last topic for today is the business model. Okay. And remember, today's session is just a teaser for you guys, right? So in future session, I will explain you what does it mean by business model, and I'll try to take you guys through step by step, right? But today it's only a teaser for you guys from all the 3 point of view. So from the business model point of view, again, okay, let me go back and ask the questions, Vishal and Vikas and Joy, right? These questions. So Joy, do you believe the idea that you have is unique idea, or is it me too idea?
So, Kadir, to be honest, when I pitched it, I thought it was a unique idea. Then, I explored a little bit and I saw some similarities is out there, like some of them are doing it. At least I found one website that's in the US, of course. So now we are trying to do something we're trying to go through those videos and see if we can implement a feature that is not in there.
Okay. So now you understand, right? Kind of Shad also mentioned the same thing, right? I'll tell you, I've been listening to pitches for many years, right? Probably just to give you from the point of view of just statistics, right? Let's say I have listened to 100 pitch, okay? Normally, maybe 1% or less than 1% has the unique idea, right? Everybody else who pitches always have the same idea as someone else pitches. So what does it mean? I mean, it's not only one person in the world with the brain thinking, right? So you have multiple different persons with the brain thinking the same ways, same problems, how to solve them, right? So the entrepreneurs are not made overnight, right? The entrepreneurs are made with strong, who has a strong willpower, right? It's not easy like you just go and get a job and work, right? So within the job, if you want to become an entrepreneur, it requires courage and willpower, right? You will face a lot of hurdles. The same thing, if you want to become an entrepreneur, it takes courage and you will face a lot of hurdles, whether it is financial hurdle, whether it is a people hurdle, whether it is a personal hurdle, whether it is health hurdle, anything and everything you will face, and you have to deal with it and have to have a strong will to continue with that, and one day you will become successful, right? So this is something that I wanted you to really remember. And why I am saying this is because if you don't go through this process for years and years, and if you don't learn this over years and years, there is no way that you can come up with an idea that is unique. You will always think I am the best, but trust me, you are never the best. This is the reality. There are 1,000 people ahead of you who are better than you. It's like this, right? If I think that I am the smartest, handsome person in this world, no, that's not true. Right? So this is very important that I wanted to make sure that you guys understand. So prepare yourself to have a great willpower and continue this journey. Over the period of time, you will come up with an idea that is unique, and it requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of research. It requires a lot of knowledge to come up with an idea. Now, there are few people who are lucky, who steals the idea or who re-implements the idea and who does different things, and they get lucky and they become millionaire and billionaire. There are many cases, I don't want to name it, right? Well, those are exceptions, right? You might sometimes think, hey, I am so smart, but this guy is a billionaire. The other day I had a meeting with him, like 30 minutes and 45 minutes. He doesn't know anything. He's like dumb, and I know so many things than him. And see, I am just making 100,000 a year, and he's making multi-million dollars. These are all the things you will face in your life when you come into this journey. So If you connect all these things, what I'm telling you, please remember that never your idea is always unique. So now you need to find the unique idea. It comes through experience. But if you are not able to find the unique idea, then it is okay. The approach that you guys are doing right now to start with is okay. But I'm happy that you both understand that there are competitors who have the same idea. That's the first step. Thank you, Joy and Vikas and Shad, right? That's the first step. Good. Now you are trying to take that and trying to, that you can do two things, right? One thing that you can do is try to find things that they are doing it and make it easy to do. Okay. And the second thing that you can do is you can find something that user really wants, that particular product does not have it. Then you focus on that and make a differentiation and try to win the market share from them. These are the two different ways. Okay. But remember, whenever you are trying to build a product that is a Me Too product, even though you have a differentiation, the way that you are going to make money is taking the market share away from the competitors. Okay. So that means, let's say some other person is using that your competition product, like let's say 100,000 people are using, and you are going to basically target those 100,000 people, and because you have some uniqueness, you're trying to bring them into your product. That's the only way it works. You might get lucky, some new people come and join without knowing the competitor's product, but that's a different story. But most of the time, that's how it happens. But when you are building something that is unique, you're not taking away market share from your competition, but you are building your own market. There are differences. Remember, in the business, in business, these are two different things. Hopefully you got the understanding of my question asking, is it a unique idea? Joy, Shad, Vikas, you guys understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever I'm saying, it's very deep, right? I wanted you guys to really, really think. Every point that I said has to be, bombarding in your head to really, really ask yourself questions for every point that I'm saying. And then second thing, you make sure that when you are convinced that you have a unique idea, second thing that you make sure that with that idea, are you able to really provide something that will be useful for your user/customer? That is what is called as key value proposition. For example, I'll try to tie this, right? For the test stopper, we have been refining. So what is the value proposition for test stopper? What is the unique idea for the test stopper? Unique idea for the test stopper is we are non-profit community for the first unique thing is we are non-profit community. We are not like other communities who wants to make money, right? And the second one is we are the developer community focused on building, the expertises on the intelligent technology solutions, right? Right? Help you guys to become an expert in the intelligent technology solution. But now the intelligent technology solution is something that a lot of people do. But what is the unique? Those people do it for money, and we do it for well-wish, right? We do it for good for other people. So that's the unique idea, right? Now value proposition is what? Okay, I have a non-profit as a unique idea, but what is my value proposition? My value proposition is we are basically helping the individuals to become the future workforce. What does it mean? I wanted to help individual to become future workforce. So if there is a training institute is there, they are basically going to help them to learn Python. The other people are going to help them to learn some technology. The other people are going to, but we are going to help you to become future workforce. What does it mean? We are going to teach you individual talent, and also collectively all these talent, we are going to help you to become a workforce that is required for the future, right? Where the world is going to be operated by machines and humans together. So that is the value proposition. So you are able to connect, right? Unique idea and value proposition. So you have to define like that. What is your value proposition? I'll give you another example. Take Uber. Is Uber a new idea? No, it's not a unique. Is it a unique idea? No, it's not a unique idea. What is it? What is the idea of Uber? Uber's idea is basically to provide transportation for the people. It's been something that has been done by many people before in many different ways. But they became successful because they became successful with the key value proposition, the way that they deliver that service. That's where they differentiated themselves. Think about, as an example, in the past, the cars were owned by very few people. The cars was a scarcity, right? And meaning like very few cars gets manufactured, very few people were owning the car. And at that time, the car rental people, they or drivers, they or the agents, whatever, right? They buy 5 or 6 cars and they provide phone call and you get the book the cab and you go and come. But over the period of time, what happened? The car became abundance. There's so many cars are out there. And what Uber did was, the idea was not unique. But the way that they provided that idea was unique. The services that they provided for that idea, the way that they provided the services for that idea is unique. They used abundance model. They still provided the transportation, but they used abundant model to utilize the cars that are available out there to provide the service. Same thing, Airbnb. They were using abundance model. See the shift in the innovation, right? 10, 15 years ago, the innovation was building something in using the scarcity model, right? Now the business, the products and people are building ideas and businesses based on the abundance model. See, think about it, think deep. It's too deep to think. So that's where this unique idea and the value proposition becomes very, very, very critical. Then, you know what, I'm going to stop here, right? So business model, we will again revisit in our next weeks, and I will add some additional slides. But any questions, right? We have a couple of minutes. I want to open the floor for any questions, please.
Hey, Kadir, what is the abundance model?
Like abundance, right? English word abundance means there's a lot of things that are actually available out there. How I can use a lot of things that are available out there, unused, to create a business out of it. The Uber did that, no? There are so many cars are there, right? Like, for example, I have a car. You know, in non-COVID situation, what happens? Some people drive the car only for the shopping and visiting families. And when they go to downtown, they use the train. So now the car is sitting there idle, right? For a lot of time. Right. So and when you're driving to the job and then when you're returning back to your home, you are driving alone. So that means what? These are all the things that are available in abundance. So Uber basically made use of that abundantness in their innovation. So I am traveling from my day job in Toronto all the way to the Mississauga, and I can switch on the Uber and I can put search the people who wants to go to the same destination, and they give you the with the AI they give you the answer. These are all the people. Go and pick them and come. So you're anyways coming to the home, and on the home you are making $15-20 for you. So the abundance is building a business with the resources that are available abundant, right? That's what it means. Did it answer your question?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, very, 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 important, right? To kind of understand that, Airbnb, the same thing. I'm going on vacation, right? My house is going to be just locked down for like 3-4 weeks. If I put my house for 3-4 weeks on Airbnb, I go on vacation, I come back in 4 weeks, probably I would have earned $2,000. Yes, someone else is going to come and use your kitchen, use your bed and stuff like that. But you see the model here, right? Business model. That's what Airbnb is doing today. Any other questions, guys?
So Kadir, I have researched today regarding the InterRecruit. So I have found many companies and many platforms they are currently in the market right now, more than 25. So how are they, like, how they are different in market? They all are running right now and they are profit companies, right? So what is the different thing they are doing, like MVP? How we can find MVP in each company?
Good point, right? So this, I kind of covered it before. Maybe I was not clear. So you can build a business that is me too. If you build a business that is me too, see, the market size is the market size. Like for example, if you look at recruitment point of view, okay, these are all is the business model that I will be business plan I will be teaching you guys afterwards, right, in the future session. But if you think about it, in the world we are almost 6.5-7 billion people, right? Out of 7 billion people,
Yeah.
if you're going to focus on technology people who are looking for a job, probably we are talking about maybe 700-800 million people, right? You need to understand this first of all, right? So in this 800 million people, you are 25 people, 25 companies are there, and each of them, how many they have, right? So that is your total market, and total market is being used by all these companies. So the market is so big enough that all these people are making money. That's your answer to your question. That's the answer to your question. But the market size is fixed. Let's say, for our understanding, right? 500 million is the people who are going to use the recruitment platform on the technology side to get a job. So that there is only 500 million people. Now you are 24, 25 companies are there. So divide 24, 25 companies by 500 million, right? 20 million each, right?
Yeah.
So that's why all these different people are successful, because the market is big. So it is also a viable business model if you wanted to build something where the market is really big and you can still make money. But remember, how you are going to make money is you are going to get the customer to use your product compared to the products that they have been using so till now, your competitor's product. You understand? That's why I said at that time, if you are going to build a Me Too product, you are always going to build your business case by grabbing the market share from others, by grabbing the users who are using the other products to your products. So if you wanted to do that, that means your product, when you are going to the market, has to have something unique. Otherwise, they are not going to come to you. Correct? And that uniqueness is your challenge to find. And if you don't find that uniqueness, you can build the product, Me Too product, and you can go to the market. Then you're absolutely, it depends on your luck, and it absolutely depends on the lot of money. In case if you have a lot of money in the bank, you can use to market it nicely in the TV and all those different places. Give some gifts for the people to join, bonus to join, all those kind of things you can do to make people to join, right? You can give it a luck, but it's a combination of multiple things, right? Will make you successful. Hopefully it answered your question.
Yes, I understand. But actually, my question was like there are 25, let's say, for example, 25 companies recruiting platform. So, as a researcher, how can I find their multiple value MVP?
Well, you need to go and play around as a recruiter and as a user their tool.
Mm-hmm.
And all one by one make a notes of it, what best they do, what they don't do.
Okay.
Right? And then after doing all these research, then analyze something that you believe if you are able to do, you can do the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what you do is go and talk to users and customers to validate them. If they think, after you found something like that, and if you go and talking to the users and the customers, they say, hey, yeah, it's a good feature, but you know what, it's not very important for me. I'm happy with whatever is being provided by Naukri.com, for example. Then you lost your business model there completely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you have to go through the process, and instead of starting building something, before building something, you have to go through this process to really understand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not easy. Creation is not easy. Like all the companies that we look for job and join, right? All we do is we apply for the job and we take a job and we do. But when you actually look at it, the pain and the effort and the thought process that gone into that company to be where they are, to employ someone like you and me is a big thing. It's not a small thing.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different world together, but you will get there, right? You have to take first step. Probably you will get there. If you're lucky, someone will get there in 3 months, 6 months, someone will get there 1 year, 5 years, someone will get there 15, 20 years. It depends, right? But you have to take your first step towards thinking like this. But if you start thinking like this, the same thing you will ask in your day job too. You go, if some feature, if someone is, if a product manager or business guys are coming and asking you, to do this feature, then you can ask them, why do I have to do this feature? I have seen this feature in multiple places. How are we different? And can we do it in a different way? Then what happens? You stand out of the crowd. You are actually helping your business to create revenue in the right way, helping the business to generate revenue by investing on the right thing. So you become the third category person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whatever I'm training you now, don't get discouraged, right? And also don't get stuck today, right? See, this one is just a training for you guys. This is not a real hackathon, right? It's a pilot hackathon. So you have an opportunity right now to kind of learn all these things. And then maybe next year, slowly, you can start attending different hackathons and you'll become expert, by the way. So don't get discouraged. Now, if you don't have an idea, don't think that you don't want to build it. You build it, right? Come up with something and you build it. For me, Intel Recruit, I told the other day also to Joy, hey Joy, there's so many recruitment stuff that's happening only as putting the resumes and stuff like that. Think of something that is so user friendly and interactive, like a video based recruitment, Intel Recruit, right? Video based, AI based, something that you think of rather than just uploading your resume and stuff like that. Right, so that there you can differentiate, but maybe there are somebody already doing it, but maybe you can think a little bit differently there. Okay, all good?
Yeah.
Kader,
Stop.
Kader, now
Go
that
ahead.
you are talking, I just want to, explore something. So when I pitched this idea, this was my thought process. Okay. So let's just a practical example. There are many companies out there. They hire a person thinking that, this person's going to perform, this is the skill. Like they don't have any hands-on about that person. So let's say somebody joins, let's say RBC, right? So HR, they go through HR, then they go through your technical skills, they review your certificates, they do security clearance, they do all kinds of things. Then also, let's say, the candidate who joins also has lots of expectations about the company. But once they join, the employer realizes, okay, this person is not a good fit because of, as you said, like you have, like you talked about the team building and you said the members of the team, you talked about the members of the team in the team. And you said, okay, these are the expectations, but this person doesn't perform up to my expectation. Mm-hmm. And same with the candidate too. They think, okay, I joined this company, this is what I'm going to get from the company. Because they don't match for certain reasons. It's not just because of performance. There can be other reasons too, right? So there's a huge turnaround. So really, we don't match the correct employer and the employee, even though there are many tools out there. There may be 25 different platforms, as Pankaj mentioned just now. But even going through all these, they spend like so much money on hiring. And as candidates, we spend a lot of time going through their website, looking at their jobs. But if we can solve that problem, I think that will be good for our team.
Yeah, so this is a good thought process, right? But now I wouldn't tell him this is the unique problem that you have found, right? And I wouldn't say that this problem is not solved by others, right?
Right.
So if this is the problem that you think, from first day when you pitched, this is what you pitched, I completely understand. That's why I was telling you the other day, whatever today the recruiter is spending time and energy to recruit a person, like you told me, right? He takes the resume, he reviews the resume, schedules an interview, calls for an interview, goes through 3, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds, and then finally selects the candidate, correct?
Correct.
But how can you provide something from your platform by which they can just view and then they can just select the candidate?
Exactly. You measure the soft skills, your technical skills, education, what and what not, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to get into the details, right? But what if you can reduce. See, this is what it is, right? Today, a company spends, they do 6 steps, okay, to finish their recruitment. And each step costs them $1,000. So they have to go through $6,000 to onboard someone. Now, how can I reduce them from $6,000 to monthly $100, and I can save them $5,900 through the problem that you mentioned now, right? With the problem statement that you mentioned now. So it's you understand what I'm saying?
Correct. Yeah, I understand. Yes.
Yeah. So you're basically trying to help the employer to recruit the right employee, that and both employer and employee are going to be married for next 10 years, right? That kind of an employee, you are going to help employer to recruit, and also you're going to help the employee to select the employer that he wants to work with for next 10 years.
Right.
Right? That is clear. But when you're doing that, make sure it actually solves the problem, right?
Right. There are glass
Money.
door reviews, right? Glass door reviews. So if my AI tool can look at those glass door reviews, that's a good thing too. That helps the candidate.
Yeah. Or you can actually, I mean, just think about like this. I'm just thinking loud, okay? It's already late. Sorry, I'll just quickly say it. So that 6 process, what happens first? The job posting comes, you apply for the job, right? And then what happens? They will read through all the resumes and they screen the resumes, and then they basically call you for an interview, and then you go through 3 or 4 interviews and do. Now, what happens? Like, I as an employer, I come to your tool, Joy, and then I put, this is my requirement. I wanted to recruit a software engineer who has this skill, and this is the project I have. He will be used in this project to do. So it's not only about the skill, right? And also his real expertise to work on that project to do. Like, for example, conversion from moving from Azure to GCP, Google, for example. So he puts this as a requirement. That's all he does, 3 or 4 inputs. And then your tool is going to give something to them, top 4 candidates, and all they have to do is click that button and see that candidate's performance through his video. And they get impressed and they just click to provide the job offer through that tool. And the same thing, you make something like that, you have to think differently.
So that's why I said project based. That way, when you explain a project, you get a good understanding of the knowledge, the background, the skill set, the experience. It talks to the whole thing, right?
Yeah. But those are the inputs, right? Minimum inputs. See, if I'm going to recruit someone, Joy, all I do is, like, for example, I want someone who is expert in Python and database and knows GCP and Azure. This is enough because this is the project I'm going to do for next 2 years. And that's why I'm recruiting this guy. This is the reality, right? But you see what happens when I try to put the job description, I type, you need to know this, know that, know this, know that, know this, know that, 200, 300 things that I put it, right? So there's multiple ways to think it, but you're on the right direction. Think a little bit more into this and come up with an MVP, validate it, and see how you can take it forward.
All right, Kadir. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So in the next session, what I'll try to cover is I'll try to talk more about business side of it. I'll try to explain you the terms like what is a business plan, what is a market share, and how do you price the different types of pricing that you can do. Slowly I'll take you through the process, right? Not to overwhelm. Today the focus was to help you to think from the business side of it. Will ask yourself some of the questions, and which was already there in that presentation. I have uploaded that presentation in the general tab files. Go open that presentation, read that question when you have a team meeting next. Read that question one by one, and based on whatever I taught you guys today, ask question to yourself within your team and find answers. And if you are convinced, move on to the next question, and do that for all the 3 slides that I presented. Of course, the business plan you can skip. We can cover it in the next 2 weeks, but do that for other 2 slides. And I'm confident that you will slowly, your thought process will evolve towards the right direction. Okay. All good?
Yeah.
Was it useful, guys?
Yeah, very useful.
Very useful, Kadir.
Perfect. You have a lot to learn. there's many interesting things are coming. You more than what you expect, right? So I'll help you guys with all that. With that, let's close the call. 15 minutes late already. Thanks for your patience. Let's talk in 2 weeks. Shad, I will join next meeting. I know I am in your team, but I didn't join last time. Got busy with so many things.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll join in next session. Okay. All right.
Great.
Bye.
Sounds good.
Good.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Kader.
Thank you.